Hey guys, going on a cruise with your kids? Well, today I'm going to share with you some tips for cruising with little ones. Hey everybody, it's Elizabeth from Medero Green Moments, and we just got back from a Carnival Cruise, the Carnival Ecstasy, sailing out of Miami on a 4-night cruise to Key West and Cozumel and then back. We have been on probably over a dozen or about a dozen cruises, and we've picked up some tips along the way. I thought it might be helpful to share with you guys. So the very first thing we do, which is a continuation of a family tradition that my parents did, is we made a countdown calendar. Now what I've done, here I'll show you here, is it's not perfect because I didn't make it, not that that would mean that it's perfect, but what I do is I go on the computer or a magazine and I cut out a whole bunch of pictures that pertain to our vacation. So Carnival Cruise, ice cream, snorkel gear, the sandal shop we were planning to visit, pizza, some Key West things and Mexico things. And then I just buy some poster board and print out a giant calendar. Now what I've done is give it to the kids and say, go ahead. So they glue on the calendar and then they glue on all of the stuff. And I can't take credit for this. My parents did this with me when we were traveling to Disney or anywhere really. And then what we do is I write down, 4 weeks to vacation, 28 days, 27, 26, so they get to count down. And then the kids, as you can see, they choose different markers and they get to X off the days. Makes it exciting, and if they want to know how much further until the vacation, all they have to do is check their calendar. So it makes it a fun way to count down for the cruise. The next thing we do is before vacation, I start looking for cruise wear for the kids. Now right now they're younger, 8 and 5, so I look for really, not cheesy, but very clearly labeled cruise clothes. Either they have sharks on them, or whales, or mermaids, or anchors, or so much to see. Kind of clothes, so they just feel really special and it's cruise-like. And what it does too is it makes us not want to feel like we have to go buy a bunch of cruise wear when we get there. Well, you got to get a Carnival shirt, you got to get this kind of shirt. Well, you already have your cruise shirts, we've packed them and you feel really special. Another thing that we do is we pack cruise toys. Since we've been on just about a dozen cruises already, we have merchandise that we've purchased before and we bring that with us so the kids don't want to buy it again, but also when they're in the cabin they have something fun to play with. So one year we bought this blow-up cruise boat for Ethan, and so we make sure to bring it again so he can play with it. Now on the Disney ships they have a bathtub, so this was great because he could play with it in the bath. We tried once bringing it to the water slides, it just blows around and we're about to lose it. The other thing is we had a cruise captain's hat my parents bought for Ethan. I'll put a picture of him in it right here, but seconds after that photo was taken, it was so windy it blew right off and into the water. We were devastated, to say the least. The other thing we've got are, like little toy cook cruise boats. I think this one does something. Maybe it used to. Anyways, we bring this stuff so he can play in the cabin and he's got his little cruise stuff with him. Another thing we like to bring is glow sticks. So here's my container. I just get it from the dollar aisle at Target. And these are a lot of fun at night when you're going to the kids program to be all lit up because it's dark outside. Also, if you're going on the water slides or the pool at night, to wear this is super fun because you're all glowing in the water and the kids just think it's awesome. Another thing that we do is when we're getting on the cruise boat, I always make sure that the kids have a backpack. So not only does it have some of those cruise toys in it, maybe not the biggest ones, but some of the cruise toys so they can play while we're waiting to board, because we try to get there about 10:30, and they sometimes don't let you on until about noon. But we want to be there as early as possible so we can enjoy our vacation as soon as possible. So while you're waiting, it's nice for them to have their backpack. I always make sure that their favorite blanket or their favorite stuffed animal is in the backpack, so that way we are sure that it is getting on board into our room right away. It doesn't happen every cruise, but sometimes people's luggage can get lost. And if your child has something that they need to have to sleep at night, it's important to make sure you bring that on board with you. So like my essential oils and things like that too, we carry that on with us. The other thing we make sure that's in here is a change of clothes. Again, in case their clothes don't arrive right away. Grown-ups, we can figure it out, we'll be okay, but for the little ones, sometimes it's a little bit harder for them to roll with the punches. The other thing, I either make sure that they wear or we pack are their swimsuits. The reason being is the suitcases can take 1, 2, 3 hours sometimes to get to your cabin, depending on how big your cruise is or how easy or how great they are at getting the suitcases to the rooms. without fail, ours always feels like it's probably towards the end or the last ones, because everybody else seems to have their luggage outside their room but us. So after you've gone to the Lido deck to get your lunch, as soon as you've gotten on board, the kids want to play. So we go check out the kids program first. It's the only time that you can get into the kids program is that first day, the grown-ups, and you get a chance to walk around and see it. After that, they don't let grown-ups in, which I'm grateful for. I don't want other people's parents walking around and being near my kids because I don't know them. But so it's important for you to go as a parent to go check it out that day, get your kids registered, and then also get your kids' schedule. So this is the cruise activity schedule for our kids. It's called Camp Ocean on the Carnival Ecstasy. And what I do, it looks a little beat up because it stayed in my purse the whole time. And as soon as I got it, I highlighted everything that looked really, really cool. Now, everything looks great for the kids, but there are some activities that are a little bit cooler, like sand art. There's also the very last night where they got to color t-shirts. So another free souvenir. So they got to color this, which was really fun. So we make sure to highlight the stuff that they really want to do, like a bubble dance party. So they love that stuff. But that way we're not just dropping them off when it's maybe a video game time or a movie time. We're really maximizing the time that they're in there and not just using it as a babysitting service, but also as really cool activities that they wouldn't be able to do other places. We make sure that they basically get the best bang for their buck, right? So after we've done that, after we've checked out the kids program, got them registered, we go ahead and get them in their swimsuits if they aren't already wearing them and head to the water slides. Our luggage may not be there, but that doesn't mean that the kids can't play. We love that, and we spend a lot of our time at the water slides. So another time that we send the kids to the kids program, because we don't do it all day. We make sure maybe it's like an hour or so in the morning or whenever the fun activity is that they want to take part. But we always make sure that we allow time for dinner. The kids do not enjoy the fancy dinner. We thought that it would be a great experience for us to go as a family and to go to the really fancy dinner together, get dressed up, and it would be special. But it's usually about a 2.5 hour experience, and their attention span just isn't that long. Maybe when they get a little bit older, they might appreciate it. So what we do is one takes them to the kids, or takes them up to the Lido deck, gets them their hot dogs or whatever it is that they want to eat for dinner. And then he comes back and gets me, and then we go to the dinner. And that way, we can enjoy a date night every night on the cruise, which we really enjoy, and I think they appreciate too. Make sure when you're booking a cruise that you're looking for one that has 2.0 upgrade, which is the waterworks on Carnival at the back of the boat. We've been on the Carnival Victory, which didn't have that upgrade. We also saw, I think the Elation might not have it yet. Some of them don't have that upgrade. And we found that the pools can get pretty crowded, and there's not enough room for our kids to swim, or there's a bunch of people sitting on the edges, and we don't necessarily want them in that pool when there's so many grown-ups and not enough space for them really to play. May not be as safe. So the waterworks has been a huge blessing for our kids to enjoy, and so we always make sure that if we're on a Carnival ship that they have that before booking. That's a huge draw for us. So if they don't have it, we don't go, because that's usually most of our time is spent at those water slides for the kids. They just have a blast. The other tradition that we do, and we were able to expand it to our friends as well, and we did it on the very last night of the cruise, is we take them on the last night for ice cream in the middle of the night. And so we don't really go in the middle of the night. It's usually about 9:30 after our fancy dinner, and we'll go pick them up from their kids program. We'll go get their pajamas on, and then we'll take them to the Lido deck, to the buffet, and they get ice cream in the middle of the night. And they think this is so cool. So a whole bunch of us, we were able to go do that, and it was a blast. And they just have so much fun. It's pitch black outside, so they don't know the difference whether it's midnight or 9:30. To them, it's the middle of the night, and they have fun. Another tradition that we do on the cruise is we let the kids pick out one thing. Now, they don't get to pick one of everything. We bring a lot of their favorites with us. We will bless them with more things on the cruise than the one thing they pick out, but it gives them a sense of ownership. So they get a chance to pick out one thing that they love, one thing that they really want. It usually ranges between $10 and $30 depending on what it is. It must be a good value, and mom and dad have to approve. But it really works out great that they get to have some sense of ownership of what they get to pick out. And then you don't have kids with the gimmies. I want this, and I want that, and I want this. And it works out really great. So they pick out their one thing, and then if we find other deals along the way, we do that too. Another tip we have is in the cabin, we have, in this last one, we had 2 upper pullmans, and those are bunk beds basically. They put the 2 smaller beds together for us, so which I think it makes a king bed. I'm not sure, or a queen, I don't know. It's comfortable enough for us to have that bed for us. And then we got 2 upper pullmans that are above us. It's a little bit tight for a family of 4. I don't know how people do it with all grown-ups in one room like that. Our favorite really is getting 2 connecting ocean view rooms. That way each kid has their own bed and you have 2 bathrooms and lots of storage space, which is great. But when we can't do that, or we're going on a shorter cruise and there's no need to get that much space because we're not going to be in the cabin much anyways, we have asked our room steward to leave those bunk beds down, the upper pullmans. And so when the kids come in the room, they already have their stuffed animals up there, maybe some books or toys. They can get up on their bed and they have some space where they can go and chill and not really be in everybody else's way. Nobody's on top of them, nobody's in their space, and it just gives them a little bit extra room, which is very important for little people to have their own space. And it's important for mommy too, so they're not climbing all over our bed with their shoes and everything. They have their own spot. So there you go. Those are my tips for cruising with little ones on a Carnival cruise. If you like this video, make sure you like it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed if you want to see more videos like this one. And I will see you guys in the next one. All right, guys. See you later.